and I have a certain degree of unspoken sympathy for real pilots, particularly Apache pilots, who I immensely respect, having received support from them on operations many times, who are part of the community and see so many people write rubbish about something that they know a great deal of. We should speak less and we should listen more. Okay, final thing then, and that is you should be able to put a helicopter down wherever you need to. In the radio control helicopter world, you've got to be able to hover it. Flying around, it gets better over the years, but you've got to be able to hover it, and you've got to be able to put it down. It's no different in the simming world. You've got to be able to fly it, and you've got to be able to put it down. Now, as I said earlier on, you need to set your collective. In this case, I like to go for about 80%, and then you can fly this thing like a jet. You know, you can fly it like a jet. You don't need to pitch pump or anything else. Now, pitch pumping is something we do in the radio control helicopter world to ensure that the tail is being held by the fly barless system. Now, the fly barless system for the DCS community is a box of magic tricks that electronically helps us fly our helicopters, and the fly barless system essentially irons out all of the impurities and electronic jitters to the servos that control our collective pitch and our rudder on the helicopter, and it also enables us to program it and fine-tune it and so on and so on. Well, for the radio control helicopter community, helicopters also have a fly barless unit. On this, it's called the stabilisation computer augmented system. I might have got that wrong, but it's called the SCAS. Most helicopters have some form of stabilisation system, but what it doesn't do is control the rudder. So if we were to pitch pump, then the more collective we get, the more the nose is going to want to move to the right. So we have to control the rudder, as you've seen me do in this flight. A bit like the old rate mode before fly barless unit systems. Old Uncle Bob, he's been around many years. Video of his playlists, actually, top right hand corner now. But he's been around many years, as many of you have, and remember the days of fly barred helicopters, where essentially there was no fly barless system, and you had to control the input of the rudder as you were flying. No different than I am doing now, and this is exactly the same. So, you know, think of the stabilisation computer augmented system, the SCAS, if you like. I think that's what it is. That's no different in this helicopter. It irons out the jitters. It enables us to fly this wonderful machine smoothly, with some form of degree of control, but ultimately it's not going to hold the rudder. Although I think it does in the hover. You should be able to see blue lines come up, or I think there is something programmed in. I'm not sure if that's the same in real life. I don't know. This particular model, as most models are in DCS world, you know, the testing team, of which I've been very honoured and privileged once upon a time to be on the testing team, but the testing team usually are professionals. In real life, they are pilots or airmen or air crew or airwomen. The Apache is no different. I know there were a lot of pilots in real life who were part of the testing team and still part of the testing team. And for my DCS friends, look, allow me just 30 seconds to just sort of give us a reality check. Helicopters and aircraft in general in real life are continually in development. All the time. They are always being upgraded, they are always being maintained and modified, and it's no different than this particular sim. There's a lot of people out there who have been very, very loud about, oh, the Apache's no good, it's too wobbly, it's too unstable. Well, as I said in my introduction video, you should all have inspectations, not expectations. My inspectation of this module is fantastic. If I was an Apache pilot like Casmo and a few others, I'm sure, I have no doubt, that they have given further advice to the ED development team on the flight model of the Apache. But for me, It's about as accurate as you're going to get. Now, where are we going to put this down? I'll tell you where we're going to put it down. We're going to put it down in that box down there, the left-hand box, that one there. That's where we're going to go, and we're going to get rid of that. We don't need that. We're going to go with our number one eyeball. So let's come down. Just coming down now. In fact, no, I will put that on for you actually. There we go. Now, remembering I showed you the vertical velocity indicator earlier on. Well, that's what I'm using to right now. Anyway, that's what I'm using to enable me to understand whether I'm sinking or raising in altitude. We need to come over this bank. Just, you know. If I was in real life something to do with an airfield or whatever, I'd be spitting feathers now. You can't go over the bank. That's not the way you come in. Look, you know what? This is a simulation, yes, and people should be taking it seriously, yes. But you know, give yourself a little bit of a break. It takes 26 weeks in the British forces to train already a proficient pilot to become an Apache pilot. 26 weeks. 26 weeks. So by the time they're spat out the machine at the other end, it's probably a year and a half, and you know, they've just started their Apache journey as a pilot. So you know, you're not going to master this that quickly at all, and you know, if you think you are, then think again. A lot of people, unfortunately, let's just come back a bit, unfortunately a lot of people tend to try and master a particular module far too quickly. Alright, what's happening here, Tiger? I'll tell you what's happening. You're in the world of talking and flying at the same time, aren't you? Which is never a good thing to do. So let's spin her around. Yeah, let's bloody put this down. Let's put this down. Let's put this down. Let's put this down. Let's put this down. As I said, you should be able to put it down exactly where you need to. And if you can, when you get there, as we're down now, when you can, then you can say that you can fly a helicopter. You should be able to hover, you should be able to fly around, you should be able to understand the flight systems, and you should be able to put it down exactly where you need to put it down. And if you can do that, then you can then say, yes, I can fly a helicopter. If you can't do any of that, then I'm afraid no, you can't. No, you're not flying a helicopter, you're learning. And so eat some self-humble pie and enjoy the journey, so to speak. And that's a nice little segue to my closing statement. And that is, this is a study simulation. For those of you it's the first time you've ever seen this, yes, you should be gawping at all this stuff in this cockpit. Yes, it is, you know, exactly its real life counterpart. Yeah, it's not made up. Everything that you're seeing here is real. If you could do it in here, then in theory you could do it in the real aircraft. T's and P's of temperatures and pressures are exactly the same. All the checks are the same. The weapon systems are the same, within a certain amount of reason and rationale. So my final little bit of advice is this: master one. Don't try and be a jack of all, because when you come across a module like this in DCS world, so many people want to jump in and master it immediately. That's not going to happen. You should give yourself a break, enjoy the journey. It takes years and years and years for real life pilots to be able to do this, and I have a certain degree of unspoken sympathy for real pilots, particularly Apache pilots, who I immensely respect, having received support from them on operations many times, who are part of the community and see so many people write rubbish about something that they know a great deal of. We should speak less and we should listen more. Look forward to the next video, which is, well, look, now we know how to fly, Tiger. How the bloody hell do we go from A to B? On the next video, we'll look at navigation and how to do that. I hope this was useful. It's super difficult to put these together. I forgot how difficult it was, to be honest with you. So please be kind in the comments. It's part of my journey too. Till the next one, take care. Bye-bye.